The 2023 Overwatch League season gets closer by the day, and there's so much to discuss, but something we've never actually done here on this channel is an official preseason player ranking. It's a pretty common activity in sports and esports alike, and it tends to spark a lot of discussions, so I thought I'd throw my name into the hat finally. Today's video will be part 1 of 3, where I give you my top 10 overall players at all 3 roles. Today's video features DPS. They're going to be my predicted top performers of this year. These are the guys you're putting in your A and S tiers, so to speak. These rankings are based on things like skill level, potential, past peaks, predictions, and more. This is a great way to provide some insight on where my mind is currently at, and it'll make for a fun thing to look back on when I end up being very wrong as usual. This list will be in order, and I have absolutely zero confidence in it. Let's get started at number 10, where I have Edison. There had to be at least one Dallas player on here. Sparkle is a good pick to make, but I'm loving how Edison finished 2022. He was a key contributor during that playoff run, elevating himself to a top hit scan in the game. And based on what we've seen early, hit scans like Cassidy and Sojourn are in high demand. If that continues to be the case, then Edison will be right at home. There's a lot of young and unproven talent out east with arguably worse support. Edison has gained a lot of confidence as a player recently. He's starting to finally hit his stride, and I think he'll continue to do so in a weaker region. Number 9. Leave. It's about time for the 2021 MVP to make a comeback. Last year, he couldn't shine nearly as brightly on a dying Chengdu team. He nearly got traded during the offseason, the team around him got dismantled, and there was too much uncertainty in the air to put all of his focus into the game. A trade to the Spark gives him that well-needed escape. Here, he can have fun in a more stable environment with players and coaches that he enjoys being with. The Spark have put together a near Chinese super team that'll give him some of the best support he's ever had in the league. And playing next to somebody as reliable as Shy should make him feel very confident. I have a pretty good feeling that Leave is going to get back into his groove. He's in a well-improved situation, and he can focus on being the pure flex DPS again, and we all know what this man can do when he's in his comfort zone. He can literally be the MVP of the league. Top-tier flex DPS is realistic if all things go according to plan. Just knowing that he's not doing everything by himself makes me feel a lot better about how much impact he can have on the game this year. At number 8, I'm picking Zest. Soul Infernal definitely have some questions around them, but Zest is already proven to be one of the most reliable flex DPS in the game. As a rookie, he was already in the MVP conversation. He's got a wide range of heroes at his disposal, and a year of experience will surely make him a better player. And in my honest opinion, he's going to be more dominant because APAC as a whole got weaker. Zest seems very motivated to make a deep run alongside his boy MN3, and I believe in them. Not everybody is motivated in OWL's current state, so Zest will use that to his advantage. If Soul Infernal even have just a decent year, he could really be one of the best players in the world. At number 7, we have a timeless classic. I'm going with my boy Prophet. I get it. This may feel a little weird. The Dynasty have gotten a lot worse, and Prophet has already been in this league for 5 years. The falloff just has to come eventually. There's no way he can keep up this level of play forever, right? Right? And yet, it never seems to happen. Prophet is just inevitable. This guy can defy Father Time himself. When Prophet's motivated, he's like an A-tier DPS bare minimum. From what I can tell, Prophet isn't totally invested like last year. He wants to have a bit more fun in the waning years before his upcoming military service. And yet, I see that playing to his advantage. He'll be relaxed, sure, but he's not going to let the pressure get to him, which could actually lead to a lot of dominant performances. Him and Void could be a lethal duo in those dive comps. Prophet always finds ways to be relevant and make his teams better, and there's a bit more young talent in the league for him to potentially take advantage of. He's literally been doing this since his Apex days. He is the model of consistency, and he just knows how to play the game better than most. He just feels like a safe pick to have in your top 10. You know Prophet is going to be good. Never doubt the GOAT. Number 6 is where things maybe get a little spicy. I'm going with Merit. Merit was incredible in his rookie season. He showed some unreal composure as a rookie player in high-stakes environments and was very consistent, and that was only year one of his career. That experience factor and his motivation, it's all going to help him out so much. But for me, the big factor that sees him rank this high is that he's swapping to a different team. He's already a really cracked player, no doubt about it, but he did share the spotlight with a resource-driven player like Pelican on Houston. On the Mayhem, though, he could truly spread his wings and fly as the primary playmaker, and I think he'll revel in this fact to play at an even higher peak than what we saw last year. In my opinion, Mira elevates himself this year to a clear-cut top 3 hit scan in OWL. When all the resources are on him, just watch and see what he can do. Now we're moving into the top 5, and here we've got names that you'd probably expect. First is Kevster. That top 3 DPS that we've seen the last couple of years could take a minor step back in 2023, as this is the worst team that he's been a part of since 2020, and the Gladiators are literally dying as an organization. But that's not going to stop him from being one of the best players in the league, as Kevster is way too skilled to not carry on a regular basis, even with worse circumstances. If anything, he might have even more chances to show off his skills and carry his squad in team fights. His Tracer and Genji may go even harder than they ever had before in some potential back-breaking carries. Worst team or not, Kevster is still Kevster, and from an individual standpoint, as a former MVP candidate, you'd expect him to dominate. Number 4. Pelican. This is the year that he comes back to his former glory. This man has come up short just barely in the previous 2 seasons in the playoffs of winning that championship. And deep down, I think that Pelican knows this is likely the best chance he'll ever get. The Houston Outlaws are insanely stacked this year, and they're capable of going the distance. If they want to reach that goal, though, it's going to be on Pelican to play well at the game's most demanding role. And if it's on him to take you there, then you best believe it's going to happen. I'm expecting big things from Pelican this year. Maybe he won't carry as hard as the Atlanta days, let's say, but don't be surprised if it's closer than you think. He'll just have so much support from his back line and the tanks that'll provide him space, and I think that combined with his motivation will lead to a very dominant season. His flexibility will likely be off the charts this year as he does whatever it takes to bring his team to that championship status. This is the year of Pelican. Do not be surprised if he is in that MVP conversation. Entering top 3 territory, we start with Shy. Shy was actually so freaking good last year. He is an elite sniper with some of the best pop-offs for 2 years running. Shy can compete with any other player in this game, and with how important Hitscan looks to be, at least here in the early meta, Shy will have many more opportunities to continue being that guy. And you gotta feel especially good for him in this upcoming year. This will arguably be the most talented group he has ever worked with. His team won't be so one-dimensional anymore now that he has a proper DPS help with Leave. They can share the burden together finally. That's another big name to account for when you play the Spark now. It's not just going to be Shy that you have to deny. That's going to give Shy and the Spark a lot more chances to win big games that they might have lost in the past. With less pressure on his shoulders and more room to maneuver, Shy could very well have his best season yet. This is the year that Shy could finally get some proper recognition within this community with awards and possible media hype. This man is going to be on a mission, and I think him and the Spark will do amazing. Number 2. Lip. My man is once again on a mission, this time in North America. I don't think people who only watch North American Overwatch League are ready for what he's gonna unleash. This feels like his year to dominate. Lip had to carry a dying Shanghai team to relevance during his prime time after time last year, and it usually didn't matter. Now Lip, as one of the best players in the world, gets a fresh start on a stacked roster designed to make a grand finals run. Do you have any idea how liberating that's going to feel if you're Lip? Lip is being given all this because Atlanta believes in him to be that guy. With top tier support, DPS help, and tanks, Lip has every reason to tear up the competition. It's going to be very hard to totally focus on him when there's so many other players to account for. And if you give Lip space for even a second, he'll make you pay for it. Last year was pretty disappointing, let's not beat around the bush. And if you know Lip, that's gonna light a fire under him. This man's been gunning for another title and for that regular season MVP. He's been motivated to win that thing for years, and he's sick and tired of not getting that recognition that he truly deserves. So don't be surprised if Lip ends up elevating himself to best player in the world. And truly, I nearly picked Lip as my number 1 on this list. I believe in him that much to do some seriously great things. But I decided not to because the guy ahead of him just has way too much potential. And of course, the man in question is none other than Proper. He was already the league's best player last year as a rookie, and now he's being given more help. And it doesn't take a genius to understand what that could mean for him as an individual contributor and for the rest of the league. With more weapons and better synergy and previous champions from Overwatch contenders Korea, you gotta give more respect to the other players on San Francisco. And if you're giving that respect to somebody else, you'll lose Proper in an instant. And by the time you realize it, it's already too late. Listen. Proper might have the highest potential of any player in league history, and now he's a year better, a year smarter, with a better team. And you already know that Proper doesn't want to live his entire career as that guy that could never get it done. He is motivated to finish the job this time and achieve true greatness. What Proper did last year is not exactly a realistic thing to replicate, but even a small fall off could still mean he is the best player in this league. Proper has the highest solo carry potential of any player, and he's flexible enough to do so on hit scan or projectile. With more DPS help and better tank synergy, Proper can hone more in on his game and not feel so pressured to do everything by himself. He can deliver more of that trust and as a result play at an even higher level. He's already well proven and the stars are aligning in his favor. Do not be surprised if it's once again the year of Proper. Proper is a legend in the making, and this year could seriously add on to his legacy, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. But until then, that's all I got for you. This list is by no means a fact, it's just my opinion, please remember that, and it'll likely be very wrong anyway. However, I still hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date with all of my Overwatch League content, and consider leaving your own top 10 in the comments below. I'd love to see where your opinion differs from mine. And until next time, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.